2 pitch. Hit toward third. Castro has it. Spins. Fires. A perfect game. Roy Halladay has thrown the second perfect game in Philadelphia.
Line drive, right center field, base hit.
Ground ball over the mound. Waiting for it. Oh, see, he booted it. 1 runner's in. Here comes Swift to throw. Save!
Hits one in the air, left center field. Back it goes. Harper, the swing of his life. Fastball hit to left. It is long gone. And Hamels with a 3-2 pitch. Swing and a high fly ball deep center field. Herrera back on the track and did he make the catch? He fell down and he's got.
Here's the strike by Robinson. The 3-0 pitch. Swing and long drive. There it is. Number 500. The career 500th home run.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Bell Smashers podcast, episode 32. I'm your co-host, Kylie.
And I'm Jen.
And before we start this episode, we are brought to you by Fired Up Sports and Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com and use promo code BellSmash for 20% off and free shipping. Hair care for everywhere and then some. They even have chapstick, so that's
Chapstick.
genderless.
Yeah, toiletry bags. A lot of things that you may not expect. So,
Yeah.
I've had some friends text me like, "Can you remind me your code? I want to get something for my husband or whomever." And yeah, it's been nice to be able to share that. So,
Yeah, I've got a couple people. I've had quite a few people actually use the code, and yeah, so it's useful. But you know what isn't useful? Ridiculous Twitter trade ideas.
yeah,
I really it's been a boring week. I get it, but I just wanted to start off with those trades.
well, we should. Not everyone, most people, and I'm sure most of our listeners are very active on Philly's Twitter. It's the reason our podcast exists. For those who are not, it was because it started when Soto, after the All-Star game, was this an interview or was this just like overheard? Big Papi asked him, like, "How are you getting home?" And he goes, "Phillies are taking care of me." So then everyone was like, "What does that mean?" I mean, it means he flew on the plane with the Phillies to Philly.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, that's a long flight, and everyone's like, what are they going to talk about?
Right, exactly. And before I answer that, if you were watching, you did just see me kind of react to something. My cat just dug her nails into my back trying to get my attention.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that hurt. And kind of distracted me for a second. But we're back. She's gone. That's fine. So with the Juan Soto thing, I don't know how it started, but I'm pretty sure it was Alex. I think her last name, I think it's Alex Coffey. She posted and somebody confirmed, I think it was her, that Soto went on the plane with the Phillies.
Yeah. So he said, "The Phillies are going to take care of me." And people were like, he must be flying back with them. And then it was confirmed that he flew back with them.
Yeah.
And then there was the article.
Yeah.
By John Heyman.
Yep. And at first I was like, okay, this is a really funny joke and I'm going to run with it. And just because we're playing San Diego starting tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't see any of you at the game tomorrow that I'm going to be very upset. But tonight they start in they start playing San Diego and Philadelphia. So like that was my initial thinking. Just, but then of course John Hyman had to go and write that article, which had no basis it had nothing confirming any sort of rumor for Juan Soto to come to Philadelphia. The Phillies would be stupid to not try to get him later in a couple years when he's a free agent.
Yeah, and that's what he was getting at. It was like it was talking about 2025 and how it said things that all make sense. Like here's why it would make like Soto to the Phillies could happen because of Kevin Long, because of Trey Turner, Harper, all these Schwarber, these guys. Yeah. Again, we joke that Nationals are the Phillies farm system. So that's really the basis of the article. Like it wasn't that's the thing. He's still on the Padres.
Yeah, there was literally no basis for anything. I mean, we all joked about Juan Soto coming here anyway, especially when he was going to be traded to the Padres. Like, everybody was making the jokes because of Schwarber, Harper, and Kevin Long. And then now we have Trey Turner. So, of course, the jokes are going to keep coming. But that article literally had nothing linking us to Soto being even interested in coming to Philadelphia. And honestly,
wow, you have all the animal activity.
My dog is such an idiot.
While that's happening, I don't know where you were getting at, but when you said honestly, that was the start of your statement. But I was going to say, honestly, from my perspective, yeah, keep that thought. He did it out of convenience, and he wanted to spend time with his friends who are on the Phillies. Like, that's it.
Exactly. And before my dog rudely interrupted me, I don't know why my animals are interrupting me today. Before my dog very rudely interrupted me there, I was going to say, honestly, as much as I would obviously love Soto, and I would not be opposed in any way to him coming here. But in 2 years, we could be out Wheeler and Nola. We don't know what Andrew Painter's situation is right now. We don't know if McGarry and Abel are going to work out. Right. We have no pitching.
Yeah.
We only have Taijuan Walker and Ranger Suarez as starters guaranteed.
Right.
I think Granger's guaranteed. I don't remember when his contract is up. But we didn't lose the World Series. I guess we kind of did lose the World Series because of pitching. I mean, if it weren't for giving up that atrocious home run on the first pitch to Yordan Alvarez, I don't know what would have happened. But at the same time, if we hit more than one run,
exactly. If the offense had more insurance runs, like there's so many factors, as we always say, but yeah, there, like you were saying, there's a lot to consider in the next couple years. I know I said I don't want another superstar, but of course
Soto.
Of course, I would love it if he came to the Phillies.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it. I can see why people would be opposed to it. And I think it was Ken Rosenthal post an article earlier today that the Ivy in San Diego could be why their ballpark is hitter friendly or not hitter friendly lately.
Oh,
I don't know. So yeah, it was weird. And then he said that the distance from his hometown to San Diego is significantly farther, obviously, than DC, Philadelphia, anything on the East Coast.
Right.
And that's why Trey Turner wanted to come home, wanted to come back to the East. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of reasons why he would come here. But it's not going to be at the trade deadline.
Right.
It's not going to be going into next year. It's not going to be, it could be next year's trade deadline. Could be, depending on where San Diego's at.
Yeah.
I'm not holding my breath. It also depends on where Shohei Ohtani's going, which people are saying Shohei to here for some reason.
I don't know.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's Joe Giglio, so there's nothing.
All right. We have maintained that he's going to stay on the West Coast to be closer to Japan. I don't. Yeah. I'll be shocked if he goes anywhere farther than, Mountain Time.
At least into free agency, that's where he'll probably consider. He may think differently now that he's, older and
That's true.
he's had more time away and he's kind of used to it, I guess. Somebody brought that up and it sort of made sense. But the only team I can see him realistically going to in the East is I could see Baltimore. And it's not just because we live here. Like, Baltimore has the best farm system right now, I'm pretty sure still. And I mean, if you're not giving up like some of your top prospects, I don't know what you're doing, because that's somebody you would trade for. But
Right.
there's no shot he comes here.
Yeah.
Another pipe dream.
Yeah.
But the biggest one, and the only one in my eyes that I could even remotely see happening, is Nolan Arenado. I haven't seen anything about Goldschmidt, and he's the one more likely to be dealt than Arenado.
Yeah. I haven't either. I agree. I feel like I've been seeing more about Nolan Arenado, so you just never know, because I mean, the Cardinals will clearly be selling. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One of them could leave, both of them, like, we don't know.
Yeah, we simply don't know. And people are putting Bohm in the trade, of course. And I am not denying that, at least currently, and most likely forever, that Nolan Arenado is better than Bohm. To say otherwise is simply incorrect.
Right.
But Arenado is over 30. And while being owed a lot of money isn't that big of a deal, because he's still a darn good baseball player, not worried about the money. So that has nothing to do with how I feel about it. But it's going to cost more than Bohm.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the bigger issue. And people are throwing out Bohm like he's the worst. People are saying he's the worst defensive infielder in Major League Baseball. He's not even the worst on our team, let alone in Major League Baseball.
That's right. Well, the people also, again, on Phillies Twitter, who tend to say this are the ones who don't watch every game.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. We all know, I mean, ever since he said he hated this place, he's been a lot better. His sophomore year was obviously really bad, and that's why he got sent down to AAA in his second year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then last year when he started, he had a good spring training, and then he didn't start. He wasn't the home opening starter because Stott played third, and Didi Gregorius was on short. Like, the opening day lineup, I know Didi was there. I don't remember who played center field. It could have been Odubel Herrera.
I could see that.
I'm pretty sure it was Odubel Herrera.
I think it was.
And we had Bryson right, Schwarber on left, and Castellanos at DH. I think at this point. I don't know. We've had so many changes with that. It's ridiculous. I don't even remember Bryce playing in right field at this point. Obviously, that's a joke for anybody that takes me that serious.
But yeah, just going back to Bohm. Sure, he's not currently the most outstanding player, but he
leads the team in RBI.
He leads the team in RBIs. He contributes. He is clutch, and his defense has improved significantly.
Yeah, it has, and that's That's not saying obviously like he's an okay fielder. He hasn't made too many mistakes. He just hasn't made the flashy like
The ones that Arenado makes.
right. And obviously, I get that a barehanded scoop on a grounder, throwing it to first with ease is all Arenado's specialty and all that. But we have to think about it as a whole and not just like I get we're essentially in win now mode, but there's still other holes that we need to address. We gotta get Schwarber out of left field.
And now knowing Dombrowski, that like the way we've talked about how he's willing to sacrifice, the farm system.
Mm-hmm.
I could see an Arenado deal happening.
Yeah, that's a Dombrowski move for sure.
We have other moves of his to talk about too.
Yeah, let's get into that because we have Johan Rojas making it and being called up straight from AA.
AA.
I don't know about this, and I love Rojas and I want him to succeed. I'd be stupid to say anything otherwise. And I was talking to Kata like all day about this today and yesterday because it was just such a confusing move.
Well, you're absolutely right. It's nothing on Rojas as a player. Obviously, we're just I think the fans are confused as to why him.
Yeah, and we are. I guess Dombrowski doesn't do things. The only rumor we were in on was Trey Turner.
Mm-hmm.
And that is only because it made way too much sense and Bryce Harper opened up his mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, when Bryce opens up his mouth, something's about to happen because I swear every single time he's like, we got to do this. Bam. JT, Castellanos. When we got Schwarber, he was like, hopefully we're not done. Bam, gets Castellanos. That entire season, he was like, Trey Turner's my favorite player. Mm-hmm. Bam, got Trey Turner. So I'm just waiting for him to say, I want Juan Soto.
I know.
Once he says that, I'm like, that's it. We're getting him.
If you hear him say Soto's name in an interview, it's over.
It's over. Guaranteed to get him. The only player that we did not acquire that Bryce Harper was obsessively talking about was Mike Trout.
That's right.
That's the only player. And that's because Mike Trout is stupid. Well, not really. I love Mike Trout. But still. Like, whenever Harper speaks, they listen. And he said something a while back, like a short while back, like a month ago, maybe, month and a half. I forget what it was, but he said something about adding more or something along those lines, just continuing to improve the roster. And from how he worded it, I don't know. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because while it's confusing on the surface, Rojas could potentially be a trade piece.
That's my only reasoning that I could come up with, is there's some type of trade implication, whether or not it's Rojas or some of the other players that were talked about, Kingery, Jake Cave, like some of these other guys that are actually in AAA and playing quite well. That would have made sense. Well, maybe not all of them are on the 40-man roster. It's like all these complications too, but it feels like something bigger is happening.
Yeah, and the reason Kingery wasn't brought up, aside from just other things that we may not know, is I'm pretty sure Kingery is not on the 40-man.
That's what I saw.
I'm like 99% sure he's not on the 40-man roster.
I didn't check, but I believe that is correct. Whereas Ellis is, and so that's why, and he was called up.
And so the reason that's important is because if they wanted to, I totally forgot Connor Brogdon was in the minors.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I did too.
God. Okay, well, there's that. See, this is what I mean by it's a long season.
Mm-hmm.
So much happens.
That wasn't that long ago that he got
It-
sent down.
No, it really wasn't.
So anyway,
So
we were looking at the 40 man.
yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at the 40 man, and Scott Kingery is not on the 40 man, and the reason that's important is because if they wanted to bring him up from AAA, they would have to release a player,
Exactly.
and it would be, I would assume, Josh Harrison.
Yeah.
That's my only thinking. I don't know who else it could be. I would think it would be a major league player, not a minor league 40 man roster player. So that's my thinking. But if this is a risky move if it is a trade piece, because Rojas' biggest concern was his hitting. He could field amazingly, just like all of our other center fielders. They had a defense, but they didn't have offense. So when he's batting over 300 this year.
Okay.
So he's definitely he's started to hit. So the homers aren't there, and I know a lot of people are going to have issues with that because apparently home runs are the only thing that matters. So the home runs haven't really been there, but the defense is obviously there, and the offense seems to finally be clicking for him. He hasn't seen AAA pitching, which is a problem.
Exactly.
A little bit.
Well, that's my concern. You're skipping from AA pitching to the major leagues.
Right. And hot take, he's starting in the game tomorrow at 105.
In center field? I'm wondering, you think they're going to stick him in left?
I don't know. They could do either left or center and then Marsh go left or center because they put Pache on the 10-day IL.
Oh, right. And I had seen they were Marsh and Pache are like BFFs. Well, Marsh is BFFs with everyone. But he was talking in an interview about how he's close with Pache and how they've both been like kind of trying out left field.
Yeah.
So yeah. Your hot take, I could see it happening. Again, if you're gonna call him up, you need to play him so you can see how he does.
Yeah, exactly. And the only reason I think it's gonna happen is because it's Blake's now a left-handed pitcher.
Mm-hmm. And Rojas is a righty.
Yeah. And Topper loves his matchups.
He does.
So that's one of the things we love and hate about him.
I will second this. I think I could see him starting.
I could absolutely see him starting. He could. Depending on how the game goes tonight, it's possible, I guess, that he plays tonight. I doubt it. I think he's gonna start tomorrow. And I don't know, because if this is such a risky move, because if this is specifically to trade him for a fifth pitcher or a left and a corner outfielder, he's one of our top prospects, and if you're gonna do this, he has to perform right away. And then if he's hot, you gotta trade him for the guy you're looking at. If this is for a trade, he has to perform, and if he doesn't, bam, there goes his trade value.
Exactly.
They just completely screwed him up.
Yeah, like we hope he succeeds.
Yeah.
But what if this completely backfires? Why did we do this?
That's what Kata was saying too. By the way, yeah, we crap on each other, but we're homies. For those who see us fight on Twitter all the time. No, but we were just like, it's confusing because that's not the move any of us would have made. Because you can still you could still put Schwarber in left field, Marsh in center, Bryce in right, Bohm at third or first, Sosa at third. If you're gonna put Bohm at first, Sosa at third. Obviously Turner at short, Stott at second, JT behind the plate. And did I say Bryson right? I meant Castellanos.
Yeah, you meant Castellanos and then Bryce at
And
first.
Bryce DH. Yeah.
Or who do you have on first base? Hall?
Hall or Bohm or Bryce apparently, because Bryce.
Yeah.
This is the other thing, because this could mean Bryce is ready to play first.
Yeah.
There's so many, like, Dombrowski moves in silence.
Some of the reporters were saying that it's possible you might see him play first base in person, Kylie.
If I see him play first base in person, I'm gonna lose my mind, dude. I haven't seen that butthead in the field in so long.
And then I will really have FOMO.
I seriously, because I got good seats too.
Here's my plug for high-speed rail so I can get to Philadelphia in 30 minutes.
My laptop thought I said, "Hey Siri," so what did you just say?
It's probably because I said high speed trains.
Oh, yeah.
I said something that sounded like that. It's my dream so that I can get from DC to Philly in 30 minutes.
That is a very good dream that I would like as well. Because
then I would be there.
Yeah, I am so sick of driving 2 hours and 10 minutes to the ballpark. But by the way, a lot of people hate driving to the ballpark, and they love, or I guess the stadiums in general, because they're all right there. People hate going there and sometimes use SEPTA, although everybody also hates SEPTA. I'm telling you guys right now, y'all don't understand how good we have it with our teams. The only teams that I can say are similar that I've been to is the Orioles and the Ravens, because that's easy to get to, park, walk over. But you are not driving in the city to watch the Nationals or the Wizards. At least I'm not.
I'm not.
Stupid.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Metro any day of the week, especially on weekends because it's free to park. So
yeah,
sometimes people don't understand how good we have with our stadiums, and I just had to say that randomly.
I mean, it's true. Well, when you go to other cities or you live in other cities, you realize it.
Yeah, and the 2-hour drive is brutal, and I would definitely appreciate a half-hour. Don't they have one of those fast trains? And I think, was it Japan?
Yeah, they have them. I think, I don't know if this is correct. I believe we're like one of the only like highly developed countries that doesn't have it. Like even Europe, they have trains that are way faster than Amtrak.
Oh, that's great. Makes me feel real good.
Anyway, the point is that I won't be there to see Bryce play first base.
Yeah, so that's even if it happens. We literally have no idea. A lot of people were panicking that Bryce was actually hurt, I think.
He got hit?
I don't know. Part? I think people were a little concerned that, unless I misread a tweet. No, I think I misread a tweet. It was Pache and Bryce was right there. Never mind.
I mean, he did get hit in the right elbow by a pitch, but seems fine.
I just would appreciate the baseball gods leaving him alone for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Because this dude cannot catch a break.
Seriously.
And none of it is his fault.
Mm-hmm.
He got hit and fractured his thumb because of Blake Snell. And then he tore his UCL throwing to whatever base he threw to. And then he got Tommy John surgery after the World Series. And then he comes back at a rapid-fire pace, record-setting pace, and then gets hit in that same elbow.
Yep.
I have no words other than Nice. Just
let it be done now.
like, please, just let this man play for us. He's making so much money and he's so good. Make it worth it.
Yep.
Spend hundreds of dollars on jerseys. Make it worth it. No, but so as as everybody knows, we play the Padres this week. 4-game series. A doubleheader tomorrow. And the second pitcher tomorrow is not known for them, but it's known for us. So we have Christopher Sanchez tonight, which, by the way, Sanchez has been a pretty solid bullpen game pitcher.
Yes, I agree.
And then and that's Yu Darvish tonight. So hopefully we see a Schwarbaum.
Woo!
Tomorrow for the day game, it's Blake Snell and Taijuan Walker. And as everybody knows, I will not compliment the pitcher until the end of the game, until his outing is done. But everybody should know how I feel about Taijuan at this point. Tomorrow night, it's Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, his past couple games are behind him.
If any, and I was thinking about this during the last outing. If any player is the one that will beat himself up and not stop until he has a complete opposite performance when he does bad, when he plays poorly, it's a Ranger Suarez.
It's Ranger.
I will not make a prediction. However, I feel good about that outing. So
I do too. And last time you had a feeling, you and Haley both said we were going to go 1-3 against Miami.
Yeah, and we were right.
The one time I'm more optimistic than anybody and I'm wrong. Whatever. And then Wheeler closes it out. And then we play Toronto. Oh, then they play Toronto.
No, then they're Milwaukee.
Yeah, we play Milwaukee. I was looking at the San Diego Padres who they were playing.
Oh, got it.
On accident. But yeah, so out of those 4 games, I feel good about all of them, honestly. From a pitching standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, kind of surprised no Nola.
Me too.
It's very interesting. I'm going to do my Brian Windhorst thing. No, just kidding. I don't know why he's not pitching in either of these 4 games. It's interesting that they're starting with the bullpen game to start out.
After a long break.
Yeah. So, by the way, speaking of breaks, shout out to both of our All-Stars because we have 2 since our recording.
And they contributed to the National League winning. With all of our coaches. Yeah. With all of our coaches. Shout out Topper, Caleb Cotham, Paco, Kevin Long, all those guys. Dusty.
Mm-hmm. They have experience ending decade-plus long droughts, I guess.
Apparently. It had been 11 years once again.
Yeah. I mean, Kimbrel made it really interesting.
Kimbrel, he threw 30 pitches.
30 pitches. Psychotic to keep him in. But I'm glad they did. And I really, really wanted Kyle Tucker to be the last out.
Oh, yeah. So did I.
I was really hoping. I was convinced it was going to happen, too. That would have been my World Series. But Castellanos had 1 hit and a walk, or was it 2 hits?
I think 1 hit and a walk.
Oh, that hit was one of the runs scored. Ended up being a run scored.
Yes.
When Diaz hit the home run.
Correct.
So it's fine with me. Now, before this is another short episode because I mean
Well, at least we had stuff to talk about.
We did have stuff to talk about. Finally. We always, every single time, ever since we started this podcast, it's been, what are we going to talk about this week? When at first it seems like we have not too much to talk about, and then there's always something that happens. And right now it's Twitter going crazy, and Soto coming to Philly in 2 years, and Rojas getting called up for God only knows why.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be one interesting few weeks leading up to the trade deadline. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Is August 1st, according to Google. I don't know if that's...
So just under a month. So 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Who are your untouchables? In realistic trade people, like obviously Shohei Ohtani, you're going to give up a lot. Like you're going to be willing to give up a lot for Shohei and some stuff for Soto. But like realistic type, who would you not trade?
Andrew Painter.
Is that it?
I mean, that's the first one that came to mind. The other guys... Yeah, I'll just start there. You go.
The only one that is untouchable is Painter to me. The only one.
Yeah.
In terms of prospects.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of, the entire roster, obviously goes without question. And this could be a hot take. Bryce Harper's not being traded. Because at this point, some of y'all have some crazy trade ideas, and some of y'all might say Harper. I don't know.
It won't be Harper. It won't be Turner.
I don't suspect. I don't know, because Covey's going to be interesting. I don't know what Marte is going to be doing. I would consider Sosa for the right deal. But that's only for some big thing. He's not going to get traded. But other than the obvious, like Harper, Costi, Schwarber, Stott, JT, like the obvious guys who are not going to get traded, Andrew Painter is the only one I would not consider trading. That includes Abel, McGarry, Rojas.
Yep. Same here.
At this point. Because Abel has some very, very strong potential. But he's not going to be up here until at least next year, I don't think.
I think that's right.
I could be wrong. But I just don't see him coming up this year. Or maybe even through half of next year, depending on how everything goes.
Mm-hmm.
So for the right deal, I could see him being included. And I wouldn't be too upset about it depending on who it is.
Right.
And I don't think that's crazy to say.
And again, it is Dave Dombrowski. It is going to be a prospect will be included.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least one.
Yeah, for sure. We traded O'Hoppe for Marsh.
Right.
And Moniak for Syndergaard last year. So, I don't know. There's a couple people on my list I'd want to get. I've been looking at Jordan Montgomery. He's like number one on my list. I don't think they're going to go that high in terms of pitcher, but I would love to see it. I don't think he's off the table for the Cardinals either.
Okay.
I think it's one of Goldschmidt or Arenado that is off the table. I would like to point out that I'm not an insider, so this is not me speculating or anything. This is me just some idiot with the microphone. Okay. So I'm not an insider. I'm not pretending to be one. I think it's only one of Arenado or Goldschmidt that's going to be traded.
I think so too.
And I mean, it could be both depending on what people offer the Cardinals. I mean, we don't know how the next 3 weeks are gonna plan out. We don't know. But the biggest thing is Shohei, because apparently the Yankees are going to be in on Shohei, and so that could really play into effect because the Yankees are going to be looking for players. The Yankees are, that's just who they are. So they could acquire players that we want because we have some similar needs.
This is completely unrelated. I just need to say, because I've never said it on the pod, that the Yankees rule that they can't have any facial hair is absolutely ridiculous.
It's absolutely stupid, especially when you consider the fact that they just sold out to get
That
a patch
one,
on their
yeah.
stupid jersey.
Right. Between that and they can't have their names on the jerseys. Okay, but now you're going to have a sponsor patch.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I can respect the tradition with the clean shave and the no name and the jersey. I know the Yankees fans fought the Nike symbol. And I was like, okay, I can respect, at least if you keep it consistent. I disagree with it. Of course, you should be able to have a beard, have your last name on the back of your jersey, because all of a sudden your freaking Alex Rodriguez jersey turned into Joey Gallo.
There you go. Exactly.
But I'm also one of the purists that's like, if the team doesn't have a name on the back, do not buy a jersey with the name on the back. So I'm kind of like on both sides of that. But
anyway,
it angered me to see that they got the patch when they were so adamant about the tradition and keeping everything the same with the uniform and the look.
Exactly.
They don't have a City Connect. They don't have an alternate jersey either. Because of tradition. And then they sell out.
Right. So is it really about tradition then?
I don't think so.
Anyway, the Yankees will be looking for players.
They will. And I can guarantee if Arenado is to be traded that they are going to be in on it because it's the Yankees.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be in on Goldschmidt. They have Rizzo. I do not know too much about how the Yankees see their players. But they don't have, I don't know how many top prospects they have. They certainly don't have any high-end prospects. They called up Volpe, and they're obviously not going to trade him yet. So
Filipino King, shout out.
I love Volpe. But I don't, they're probably going to be in on pitching too. They were the ones that traded away Jordan Montgomery, so I don't think they're going to try to trade back for him.
Right.
But the Dodgers as well are going to be in on a lot of similar players, especially pitching. They could also be in on Shohei Ohtani.
So it's all to say, depending on what happens with Shohei and where he goes, if he goes, that will affect who comes to the Phillies.
Yeah. Obviously not saying that Shohei could come to the Phillies. That's not a thing. No. But it's to say, like, other teams that will be in on Shohei, that the big name competitive teams. So you just don't know. If whatever happens to Shohei, whatever big teams are going to be in on him, if they're in on him, then we strike at the other ones. If they're not in on him, and if he's not going to be traded, then it's going to be a battle for other players that we could be in on. So it's too soon still. Only 3 weeks away, but it's still too soon. But Jordan, I'm putting it out on the podcast right now. I put it out earlier this week on Twitter. I would like Jordan Montgomery. And the last time I put a pitcher's name out that I wanted, it was Noah Syndergaard, and we got him, and he did well.
Love
for
that.
the most part. So I think that's a good way for me to end my spiel.
I agree. I have been saying Lane Thomas for the past several weeks.
Yes.
To help in the outfield and as well as offensively. So I will continue to say that.
I support that, and I agree with you on that. I totally forgot about that. But do you think the Nationals will trade interdivision?
That's a good point. I don't know.
I would love to see it. But I also know that whoever we trade is going to be the next Phillies killer, and I am not prepared for that to be on the national.
I know. Always happens. Even though
Always.
we're not playing our division rivals as often anymore.
Thank God for that.
Mm-hmm.
Sick of playing the Mets and the Braves. Which, by the way, speaking of which, the schedule came out and we opened up against the Braves.
Again.
So
I'll be there again.
Yeah. But can they play on my birthday in Philadelphia for once? I forget where we played this year. I'm totally blanking right now. It was only 2 weeks ago, but
hold on.
was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
It was exactly a week ago. So
your birthday was 10 days ago from when we were recording. They were in Tampa.
Yeah, that's right. We won on my birthday. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't play. We play Chicago next year, right? In Chicago.
Anyway, I was looking, and they also won on my birthday at home.
They did. See, they love us.
They do.
You know what? D-Hall must have told them. I don't know how that correlates, but he told them.
He did. Thank you, D-Hall. I don't see the schedule on their page that I'm on.
I'm 99% sure we play the Cubs in Chicago. And I would just like them to come to Philadelphia or DC or Baltimore on my birthday. That's all I ask. Anyway, that I thought that was the end of my spiel, but then I remembered the schedule release, and now my spiel is done.
Well, the most exciting thing for me, my birthday is around the time of the London series, so
that's right.
That is when
we'll be there.
Celebrating. Yeah.
That's gonna be fun. We still can't book. I've looked on Expedia, and no flights are available to book yet. I've been looking every day.
It's okay. We will get it
done. We will, and I cannot wait for that.
I just pulled up our tweet with the schedule. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Yes, Chicago. Your birthday is Chicago. In Chicago. Mine
Cubs, by the way.
Yes, good point.
Yeah, for those that are not aware.
Mine is the Brewers at home. But again, I probably won't be there because we'll be going to London.
So the Phillies are the Phillies favorite, I see. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Whatever. I'm Kurt's favorite. Do you want to send us off?
Yeah. That is our episode 32. Thanks as always for tuning in. Slightly shorter, but we had plenty to talk about. Also, shout out to Reese Hoskins, who was jogging in the field today.
Yes. Shout out Reese.
And that's how I wanted to end the episode. Here's my Man of the Week, sponsored by Manscaped.
There we go.
I'm in my Harper jersey. A lot to look forward to. Second half of the season. It's going to be crazy, everyone. But we will be with you for every step of the ride, as always.
And buckle up.
Buckle up. It's never easy. It's going to be really stressful. But we'll have a lot of fun moments too. So keep listening, keep watching us. Follow us on all the socials, Bell Smashers Pod. You can see all of our individual handles on there too. And yeah, we will see you.
One more thing.
We'll see you next time. But one more thing.
We do have something to announce shortly. Within, I don't know. We'll see. But hopefully it's before next episode. So stay tuned for that.
Good. Sounds good. Again, this is why you want to keep up with us while we keep up with the Philadelphia Phillies. And
go Phils.
Go Phils. See you guys next time.
Next time.